This is the 116th Taiku, the Babylonian Talmud, and it's also in Kiddushin. It's page 8b, and we had, I think, the 115th. The previous one was also in 8b, and this one is, some of them come a few per page, as you may have noticed. And this one's an interesting one. Again, I make a disclaimer because some of the content, the material in the Talmud that's brought forth is, let's just say, from a different time and from a different point of view and from a different worldview, a different perspective. And some of the questions that are brought forth or the statements made in the Talmud may seem offensive to some, and I can see why. To be quite honest, I can definitely see why. But I'm saying that many of these things can be explained in a way that it's not as bad as it might look. And even if it is as bad as it looks, that's why I make the disclaimer. Because I mean to say that I myself may not agree with many of the statements made in the Talmud. And it doesn't mean that because somebody reads something that is offensive, doesn't mean that they're using it to offend or they're even part of it. Therefore, whatever I read now and going forward, I will continue to make this disclaimer. For all those out there that are bashing the Talmud, I've seen some very interesting explanations of some of the most offensive things, and it was explained so well that it's really basically don't judge it at face value, is what I learned from that explanation. But anyway, that long disclaimer. This is this 116th unanswered question, unresolved question, for which the tradition has it that we must wait until the coming of Messiah to get the answer. And Elijah answers it. And why the Messiah doesn't answer it, or he might, I don't know. But anyway, this is the 116th Taiku in Babylonian Talmud Tractate Kiddushin 8b, with the words Hiskad Sheli Bikikar. Hiskad Sheli Bikikar Tineu Lechelev and Mekudeshes Bima Yakelev Shela Mekudeshes Boyer Mari Kelev Amaru. The Gemara presents a very interesting case. The one we had before was where a man said to a woman, be betrothed to me, and she said, put it down. He had some money, and she said, put it on that rock. She didn't take it from him. So that's no good. He has to give it to her. And if she owned the rock, then it's good. And the previous Taiku was, what if they both owned the rock? They would have half ownership of the rock. So that was the Taiku. That was the 115th Taiku. But this is the 116th Taiku. It's very interesting. Is where a man said to a woman, "Be betrothed to me with a loaf of bread," and she said to him, "Give it to a dog." She is not betrothed, and if this dog was hers, she is betrothed. Very romantic. He basically wants to betroth her with a loaf of bread, and she says, "Give it to a dog," and it was her dog. Let's keep that in mind. And she's betrothed because it was her dog. Isn't that nice? Rav Mari raises a dilemma. If a dog was chasing her to bite her, and she said to him, "Give the loaf to the dog," what is the halacha? If a dog was chasing her to bite her, and she said to him, "Give the loaf to the dog," I don't know how that could work out. How could that be? She's running and he's running. I would love to see a movie, like a video presentation of how that would work. Maybe Eli Stefanski has one of his videos. You can do that. She's running, and he's running along with her, and he has this loaf of bread, and he betroths her with it because he gives it to the dog and he doesn't bite her. I'm assuming that's why. Oh, it's a question. If a dog was chasing to bite her and she said to him, give it to the dog, what's the halacha? Okay. And here's what the dilemma is about. Behahu hanad kamatzla nafsha mine gamra makanya nafsha oy dilma matziam rala midoraisa chiyuvim michayevis letzulan Taiku. The Gemara presents the two sides of the dilemma. Does one say that she commits herself to betrothal and transfers herself to him through this benefit that she receives by being rescued from the dog? It's worth money, no? It's worth money to save yourself, to be saved from a dog. And if he throws the dog the bread, the dog will not bite her. I don't know if this is a dog that's going to kill her. It doesn't say. And the Gemara says it saves her life. The Gemara never said it was a death. It was a fate, like a dog that's meant to, it's going to kill her. I mean, if a dog chases someone, chances are it's not going to kill them. But anyway, they say that the way they present it, that it was. But anyway, do we say that that has monetary value, and the fact that she says throw it to the dog, so she inadvertently or maybe just incidentally accepted this betrothal? Or perhaps she can say to him, by Torah law, you are required to rescue me. Due to the injunction, neither shall you stand idly by the blood of your neighbor. Leviticus 19:16. It says, Al tamud al dam re'echa. Right? So it says that you need to save him. And therefore, she is not betrothed with the loaf because she does not owe him anything. This problem is also left unanswered, and the Gemara again states that the dilemma shall stand unresolved. So let's hear this out, okay? When the Messiah comes, and we're going to have to know the answer to Taiku number 116 in Kiddushin 8b, which states that if a dog was chasing a woman and a man betrothed her by throwing a loaf of bread, and she said, throw it to the dog, what's the halacha? We're going to need to ask Elijah the prophet for the answer for that one.